the fact that she has a perspective that I can't appreciate completely because I've seen them both. I'm just saying LeBron has been around a long time and he's still trying to break records Mike set before and didn't have to play that long. I mean, he's still trying to get 6 rings, but
6-0.
That
Welcome to the Bison Brothers Basketball Podcast, your number one home for all things Bison basketball. My name is Chip Washington, the self-appointed Bison basketball fanatic.
I love it. I love it. What's up, Chip? What's up, Bison Nation? This is your boy, Brian B. Smooth, posting lover of all things Howard and still lover of all things basketball. And man, we got a wonderful show lined up for you guys tonight. Woo, it's going to be off the chain. Chip.
No doubt, no doubt. And before we get to our special guest, we want to continue to remind Bison Nation to donate to the Mecca Society. That is Howard's Name, Image, and Likeness Collective. You can do that by going to the meccasociety.org. You can also donate to the athletic department at hubison.com. You can donate directly there and through the Bison Express Booster Club. And as always, please continue to tell everyone about this podcast. You can hear us just about anywhere on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple, and you can interact with us on Instagram at Bison Brothers Basketball. So continue to tell everybody about the podcast. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, and make it happen. And we're gonna get into today's show because I am super duper excited. So
Chip,
Bison Nation,
why are you so excited, Chip? Why are you so excited?
I'm excited because we got an icon coming to the stage.
Ooh.
Let me just tell you a little bit. So she entered Howard in the 2020-2021 season as a freshman. As a sophomore, she was named to the MEAC tournament most outstanding player and the all tournament team. And she was selected to the all MEAC second team. And in her sophomore year, y'all, led the team to the NCAA's tournament first win for the Bison. Outstanding. Then she comes back the next year, 2022-2023. She was named the MEAC Player of the Year, named the Box to Row HBCU Co-Player of the Year, and again named to the All MEAC Tournament team. And then facing adversity, she had an injury that took her out for the 2023-2024 season. But she came back this year, led the team to a stellar 12-2 conference record. She was named to the HBCU or the Box to Row HBCU All-America first team All MEAC. Just outstanding. And for her last year of eligibility, she's taken all of that Bison energy to the Badger State for the University of Wisconsin. Big Ten, baby.
Wow.
And if you still didn't, after all of that, if you couldn't tell how iconic and how special she is, she got her own shirt, y'all. Her own shirt.
Own shirt.
Big time flex. So without further ado, Bison Nation, let's give a warm Showtime band intro to the one, the only Destiny Howell, aka Dez. Yeah.
So your other question was how does Howard what did you say?
Like, kind of how did you see Howard coming in
Yes.
And now how did versus kind of how you see Howard now as you're moving on to Wisconsin?
So coming in, I didn't even know that Howard was an HBCU. I had no knowledge of HBCUs, period.
Mm.
And funny story, I well, not funny at the time for me, funny now. I lost almost all my offers my junior year. I
Oh, no.
gained about 20 pounds for my sophomore year, and I was in a weird position to where I was playing like 3-4 versus
Mm.
3 or like 1-2-3.
Mm.
So that was a really hard adjustment for me, and I wasn't moving the same. And every offer just started just to peel back. This is my last game at the Tournament of Champions in Atlanta, my last AU game that I'm ever going to play in my life. And I'm walking around and I see BD in his Howard shirt. And at the time, I knew a few people that went to Howard from St. Francis Prep. And so I remember seeing like Howard University, when they would post like the, go be great, whatever. I remember like seeing Howard University. So I tagged my AU coach and I was like, because I saw them talking. I was like, yo, if your man offer me, I'll go. Like everyone, I'll go. So that's how Howard University even like came about. So
Wow.
he told me, he said, well, I'm gonna tell him come to the game. You better do what you got to do though, or you ain't going to school. I was like, you right. I was like, you right. Very, very blunt, very black and white. He's not even. He's trying to keep it real. So he came to the game. I had a pretty decent game. Offered me a week later. Took my visit in September. Committed on the visit. So Howard to me at first was just a school I had to go to school.
Mm.
It was one of my only options. It really came down to Howard and Norfolk State, which is crazy to even say out my mouth. Ugh.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm gonna hit the mute button next time you say Norfolk State, though.
hate the green and gold. I mean,
Ooh, behold.
I love it. I love it.
relax. But it really came down to Howard and Norfolk State. So I don't want to say like it was a desperation option, because I still had other options that were closer to home or whatever the case may be, but I just wanted to go to school somewhere where they wanted me, because I was in a position where nobody wanted me anymore, and that's not a good feeling to have as a kid, especially when all of those same schools are offering those 3 other people that Coach Wags was just talking about. They're still coming to see them. They're still talking to them. They're just not talking to me anymore. And it was really hard to go through that and still have that motivation and think that you're gonna do something at Howard. I didn't think that I was gonna have the career that I had at Howard that I did. So leaving Howard now, like my mindset going to Wisconsin, they took a 17-year-old kid that didn't even know who she was and turned her in to a super mature, intelligent young Black woman. And I didn't know what this university was going to do to me. I didn't know how it was going to change and mold me into this person and expose me to so many different people and even places, like even just being on the basketball team and going to these different events and meeting people through basketball at Howard. I didn't know what that was going to look like for me. And I'm just super appreciative for everything that I experienced here, because it made me who I am today, the good, the bad, the HBCU run around, the HBCU experience, the mold in the dorm, all of that stuff. It makes you who you are. So you got to appreciate the good and the bad. And the more that you start to appreciate the bad and, look at how those lessons really made you who you are today, it's beautiful when you see the whole picture. But when you're going through it in the moment, it just feels like, dang, I hate.
All right. So, I want to see, we can see if we can get you emotional. I know you talked about your mother in your bio as kind of a strong influence. What is it about your mother that you admired so much, and kind of what was her influence on you?
Just her strength, her independence, and her resilience. She doesn't let anything stop her from getting what she wants. And I learned that from a really young age. And when you're a kid in New York, you already have a certain type of grind and hustle that's instilled in you that other people from other places just don't have. And that's a fact. So having that on top of, her go-getter mentality, anything I wanted or anything I want in life, I know that I'm gonna go get it because I have that motivation and that drive and that determination behind it. And that's just one thing in specific that like I really took from her growing up. I know that I didn't need to rely on anybody to do anything for me. Like it's good to get help when you need help. Let me say that. It's good to get help when you really do need it, but it's very important to be able to do things for yourself and not be dependent on anybody else. So just her being that strong figure for me, her being able to graduate through nursing school pregnant, 8 months pregnant with my sister and walk across that stage and have sleepless nights, and me seeing her go through that and be able to like be there for me at the same time, that's when I knew she's built different. Built different. So when she went through her time having breast cancer and I saw that like that strength just get dwindled down day by day, that really that really hurt. And that really
Mm-hmm.
bothered me because I look at her as like this superwoman. And when you see her superwoman not look the part, but still
Mm.
have that, is
Mm-hmm.
is disheartening. And even seeing her be super resilient throughout that entire fight, like her telling me like, no, I'm still gonna come to this game and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. Like she's coming to games after chemo sometimes, like
Mm.
just just crazy. And her drive and her determination of, no, I'm gonna be there for my daughter because I said that I want to be there and I want to be there. I'm gonna do that, and that's exactly what she did. And she ended up coming out of that battle successfully and got COVID the week after her last chemo treatment, when there was no white blood cells in her body. And that first wave
Mm.
of COVID was taking people left and right, healthy people, healthy.
Hmm.
Yeah.
She was nowhere near healthy at the time, and she beat COVID. She beat
Mm.
COVID with no white blood cells in her body. You gonna tell me that this lady not strong? That right there was like, your mom is not regular. She is
Mm.
she is uncommon. And it's so much to admire from her and her journey through life. She had me at 22, and I've seen her grow up the same way that she's seen me grow up. And that's something that I always hold dear to my heart because I'm 22 right now. So it's just like it's crazy. It's even when I think about that because you know she's grown a lot as a mother, as a person since then. And I've just grown a lot as a daughter and as a person since then. And she's got to see that, and I've got to see the same thing from her. So it's just a great experience that I feel like we have together, and that I'm able to learn from her the same way that she's able to learn from me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why my mom is just, yeah, she's my role model, my everything, she's just that for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And is it just you and your sister, or how many siblings do you have?
I have two younger sisters, 5
Okay.
and 11.
Hmm. All
Yeah.
right. Are
Yeah.
they following in big sister's footsteps? Do they like basketball? Or are they like, yeah, whatever?
So the 11-year-old, she says that she's running track under David Oliver at Howard University. If you ask her,
Wow.
yeah,
I
she's
love it.
she's
I love it.
Coach Oliver, you heard
Shout
that?
out.
All
Shout
right.
out to Coach Oliver.
she's super set on that. And my youngest sister, she's out here living life right now. She don't really know what she want to do. She's 5 though. She got a lot of time to figure that out.
I
She
hope
got
I hope she does. It gives me hope for the future that you ain't got a plan yet at 5. You just need to hang out a little bit. I love that.
yeah.
I love that. So
Yeah.
so
Look, so
I know.
look, unlike unlike Tiger Woods, was at 3 or 4 and,
three
had him
three
out
years
there.
old, he was playing. Who knew? Who knew? So I have a couple of questions for you, but there's not as deep and as
No,
serious as Chip's been going on. He's really taken all the deep ones. So I'm gonna just a couple, because I really respect your ability to answer questions as truthfully as possible.
thank
So
you.
let's start with the easy one. You need to grab a meal on campus. Annex or Blackburn?
Blackburn.
There's only one right answer.
Blackburn.
Okay. Well, you gave us another answer. I guess there's two answers now.
Blackburn, because I'm really going to Punch Out.
There you go. See.
Yeah.
See, okay. I'm glad you flipped that
right.
one. See, you. I knew you were gonna give me something. I was just like, Blackburn. What are you talking about? All right. So, I'm sorry, Chip. You got something for me?
No, I was gonna say, if you want to go back and watch the when we interviewed Cameron Shockley OKK, we had 2 students interview him, and they gave him the business about picking Blackburn. So you can kind of see what your fellow students had to say.
Yeah,
Taylor
like
Rawlins
and they were very opinionated. I just wanted to know what you know. You've been there long enough to know the real deal. So I'm gonna go with Punch Out. We offered that as a third option. Now we'll have to put Punch Out. Shout out to Punch Out, that's been around forever. So because you are an extremely talented basketball player and an all-around, all-world woman, this next question I really need to know your truthful answer to.
I got you.
Who's the GOAT, MJ or LeBron?
I gotta go Bron.
Oh,
I gotta go Bron, because I don't think that MJ's doing what he was doing now at all. And I think Bron is doing what he's doing now back then. He's 40. He just had 38 the other day.
He did. He
just had 38 the other day. That man is not real.
So just so I'm clear, you're defining GOAT as playing for a long time. Is that right?
No. We could, if we're gonna go accolades and all of that, Bron got him beat too. I just think Jordan did it with less help. Jordan won more with less help. That is my only argument with Jordan. There's nothing that he's doing that is like, wow, Bron can't do this. But there's things that Bron is doing that I feel like MJ not doing.
Just like, okay.
Well, I'm just saying I respect the fact that she has a perspective that I can't appreciate completely, because I've seen them both. I'm just saying LeBron has been around a long time and he's still trying to break records Mike set before and didn't have to play that long. He's still trying to get 6 rings, but
6-0.
Basketball is people are more skilled. Basketball is better now than it was back then. That is a fact. I watch Wilt what Wilt highlights are there? I watch old highlights, and some of them doing basic stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, this dude was really good. Nah, he was decent because everyone else was decent.
Okay, all right. So
I'm not disrespecting basketball in the 80s and the 70s, and I definitely won't disrespect basketball in the 90s. I won't do that. But
I just asked a question. I need to know where you're coming from. I appreciate your perspective. I'm only laughing because you being a student of the game. I'm only laughing because those Wilt highlights and even those Kareem highlights are that way because they outlawed dunking because they were the only ones who could do it. So they had to score without dunking. They changed the rules for them jokers. So when they change the rules for you, I don't know. But I needed to ask that because my follow-on question is really just about the future. And you mentioned it a little bit earlier, so I want to make sure I can hear from you. What are the things specifically you're looking to get from your experience with Wisconsin? Because I think I still heard you say you're trying to make the pro thing happen. So
Yeah.
How do you see Wisconsin helping you down that road to become pro?
Being able to play at a higher level and being able to compete with better people and have better resources every day already is going to take me to somewhere where I can't even imagine, because people think I hit my peak my junior year. People are thinking that, okay, she's really good here. I'm really good here with no resources to allow me to be great. I think that
Mm.
Wisconsin is going to put me in a position where I can be great. And it's hard to do that when you don't have everything that goes with that. Nutrition, eating right, sleeping right, being able to recover properly. Those are things that I didn't even care about before. It was
Mm.
like, oh yeah, I'm putting my shoes on, stretch, nah, cool. I'm cool up there. Let's just hoop. And then as I started getting
Right.
older, and had the injury, and I had other things happen and other ailments going on, I was like, well, actually, nah, let's stretch and let's do this, and let me sleep this many hours, and let me eat right. And it started to shift. And it's hard to do that at Howard. It's
Mm.
very hard to do that at Howard because we don't have a nutritionist. We don't have healthy food options for people to eat, post practice, or we have to wait in the same line that regular students wait in to get food after we might have just had a 4-hour day or a 5-hour day. So there's just certain things that we deal with here that once again made me who I am today, that I'm just not going to have to deal with over there. Everything is more accessible to me to be the best player and the best person possible, because the sports over there is taken way more seriously than it is at Howard University. We are an academic institution, and that is what Howard is known for. And Howard's not budging on trying to change their identity. We don't
Mm.
even necessarily want to be both. We don't want to be like an A and T. We don't really want to do that. So I think that Wisconsin already being what Wisconsin is, and having the most money and the most resources in sports to try and help that, yeah, I think that they're gonna put me in the best position possible to go pro. That's something that I definitely want to do still, and that I'm gonna do still. And coaching college basketball within the next, 8 to 10 years. I don't really want to be playing pro for too long. I don't really know how I'm gonna feel at 30 running up and down the court that often. So
Mm.
we'll see. We'll see.
I love
But
it.
yeah,
I love it. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I appreciate you clarifying the difference. And I know that's so. What made Chip and I start this podcast is to get to the root of how we can maybe change the mind of Howard a little bit, because
I've been
we benefited from being academic, that it got us through with some degrees from here, but we
yeah,
also know that the potential to have stellar programs across sports is not out of mind, because we know we got talented people that are here all the time. Yours an example of that, but we do know that the resources have to match up, so there isn't this either or type of deal. So I appreciate you highlighting that.
for sure.
No doubt. And like I said, like Brian said, we have seen, coming from the 80s and the 90s at Howard, like the current landscape gives us hope that there's going to be change, because we've had, during your time at Howard, there's been so many kind of championship caliber,
Man,
sports, football, track, volleyball, swimming. Like we didn't have that in the
Did not
80s. And so
did not.
we get, here at the Bison Brothers Basketball Podcast, we got hope that we're heading in the right direction. And, so Bison Nation, you heard Destiny say, we got to step our game up on the resources. So, we shout it out all the time at the beginning and the end of the show. Got to get the alums, got to get everybody to boost that intake and that support, so that we can raise the
Infrastructure. We
facilities.
need to invest in infrastructure for sure. I love
yeah,
it.
No doubt.
yeah. We have great teams and we have great talent here, and we've been showing that consistently since I've been here. But the other part of that is, how do you keep that great talent when you can't compete on that same level with other schools? And
Mm.
that's a hard conversation to get into as a university, especially when your priorities to keep the academic standard what it is. And I know for a fact that President Vincent is very supportive of athletics and is trying to, help like expand people's mindset to what athletics could bring. But I think that getting everybody on board, getting the city of DC on board. People don't even know. Like if let's say I'm in the airport and I tell people, oh, where do you play? And I say Howard University. Oh, where is that? In DC. Oh yeah, Georgetown's in D. It's Georgetown. It's not Howard. Georgetown doesn't even have a football team. Tell me when's the last time Georgetown men's team been good besides this year?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Still waiting.
Yeah, I know.
It's just
I got to go back in the time machine to see if I can figure it out.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like we have that now, but we just have to have the people rally behind us as well.
Yeah. And that's the purpose of this show. Like I said, we're trying to raise the profile because we know the talent is there. We know the energy from the fans is there. So now we just got to bring it all to the university, and get it all out in the open and just grow. So we're excited about the future. So
challenge accepted. Challenge accepted.
Yes. Accepted.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Destiny, we appreciate you coming on. This was an absolute blast. So glad you gave us some of your time. You're always welcome back on the show. Once a Bison, always a Bison. So once you're raising that Big Ten banner, if you want to come on back, tell us all about the year of Wisconsin. Come on back. Friend of the show, we got you. We love you and appreciate you and everything that you did. From a fan standpoint, like you were, I remember in one of those stories where you said people were calling you the one of one. When I saw you play, probably even maybe that sophomore year, I was like, yeah, she's the one. We're going somewhere. So all love from the Bison Brothers Basketball Podcast for all of your contributions. Iconic. Can't say enough about it. So we appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all for having me on. And I'll definitely be back.
No doubt. No doubt.
Like I said, you don't be surprised if you see your brother in the audience. We're just trying to figure out the schedule. I told you I'm keeping my Big Ten subscription so I can see all the games. And
yes, sir.
I'm already working the magic on my business trips to say, so when are they playing near some business trips so I can actually make it happen? So I keep you posted. But
we do follow all Maryland at Maryland. I just don't know the date of that yet.
We'll look it up.
Okay.
I can make that happen. I can make that happen. But like I said, I'm trying to come to see you in Wisconsin to see how they do it up there,
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what we're talking about here. But thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing your experiences and your wisdom. I know that you don't think yourself wise at 22, but you've had several lifetimes worth of experiences to get where you got. So appreciate you taking time to share your wisdom with our listeners. Okay.
No doubt. So Bison Nation, we're going to end this show like we always do as we got the iconic Destiny Howell in the house. Bison Nation, you know how we do. You know.